Hey everybody, this is a short screencast showing the upcoming review board based code review tool developed by the A team, release engineering, and contributors from other teams. Bit of background, instead of being patch centric, this new tool is what we call repository centric. That is, you push patches to a special review repository rather than uploading patches. This has a number of advantages, including full change context, proper interdiffing, and ease of pulling down changes. You can see the wiki page for more. We're very close to deploying a working prototype. We're just cleaning up some rough edges, and this screencast should be roughly what you'll see when we launch, but expect a lot of improvements, especially to the UI, soon after launch. I'll take you through the whole process of setting up the Mercurial client, pushing some commits for review, and reviewing those commits. I'm running with local instances of Bugzilla and a Mercurial review repository. And you can see here on the left is a copy of a real bug from production BMO. I'm going to post review requests for this bug and then review them. So you'll want to make sure you're using a recent Mercurial. I'm using 3.1 here. And we'll first need to clone the version control tools repository from hg.mozilla.org. It contains the Mercurial client extension. And you're going to activate the extension by adding it to your .hgrc file, as I'm doing here. And it's calling it RB client and pointing it to hgx/reviewboard/client.py in the version control tools repo. And you'll also need to add a few settings to use this. In a section called Mozilla, add your IRC nick, which will differentiate your review requests from others in case you work on the same bug. And then you got to add your Bugzilla username and password, since Review Board is integrated with Bugzilla and shares its user database. This is not my real password, just so you know. Now we'll clone the repo we're actually going to work on, in this case Mozilla Pulse. And then we're going to add a URL to the review repository to the HGRC in this repo to make it easy to publish reviews. So again, this is to my local Mercurial server, but this would be, you'd be using this with the production review repo. And I've already written the patches beforehand. I'm just going to apply them and commit. Using HG bookmarks is highly recommended, and see GPS's post if you aren't familiar with them. Just bookmark to the current head. I'm going to apply my first patch. It modifies 2 files. I'm going to commit it. I always include the bug number in the commit message because this is used to tie the review board review to Bugzilla. And now I'll apply the second patch, which modifies 2 other files, and then commit that. This is just so you can see that you can review more than one commit at a time. And then we'll look at the log just to show the 2 commits on the top. Now we're ready to publish the review requests. So we just push it to the review repo, as easy as that, and you'll see a few links. You'll want to go to the last one, which is the main review request for both commits. I gotta log in first because it's a draft. You can't see it unless you're logged in until it's published. So again, using my Bugzilla credentials. On the main dashboard page here, you can see on the left the all and outgoing review requests for me. So there's actually 3 review requests, one for each commit, and then 1 parent or a squashed review request. The commits tab on the squashed one shows the individual commits here. You can see the review requests there, and you can see the diff for the individual commit here. And then going back to the squashed review request, the parent review request, you can see the changes from both of them together. In all diffs, you can always load more context since Review Board knows about the repository you're working in. Now we can set some reviewers. You set reviewers per commit, so you can split a big patch into smaller ones and assign the parts to different people to review. Here we'll just assign them both to jRandom user. and then we'll publish. Because before that, it's only a draft, as I mentioned, that only I can see. The publish button makes it public and then publishes a link on the associated Bugzilla bug, which, as I mentioned, is taken from the commit message. So if we go back to Bugzilla, refresh our test bug here, and then you can see a new attachment with a review flag set. And there's also a comment with some information copied from the review request. And if you click on the attachment title, it causes a redirect to the parent review request, like Bugzilla does with GitHub pull requests right now. So now I'm going to actually do a simple review. I got to log out and log back in as a JRandom user. Other people can do drive-by reviews like you can in Bugzilla right now, but we'll use the account that we requested for review. So since I was requested, you can see here on the left there's incoming review requests to me. So I'm just going to go into one of the review requests, open up the diff, and I'll just add a comment down to where I was modifying tests and see, just say here that we'll need some tests for their incoming changes, and because I'm a bad reviewer here, I'll say that we can do as a separate bug, land them separately. So this is, so now we got to publish the review, which also stays in draft mode until you click publish. And then if we go back to the bug, you refresh, you can see my comment with some context from the diff. Something that just is just about to land is actually a link back to the specific comment. And then we're going to click ship it, which is the equivalent of r+ing it. And then post that review, and now you can see in the bug, if we refresh, the ship it was translated to an r+ here, and then there's a comment at the bottom as before. And that's the new code review workflow in a nutshell. We have lots of ideas for future enhancements, but we hope when this launches shortly, it'll be enough to get people started and excited for more. Feel free to drop by the review board channel if you've got more questions.